Hi everyone, welcome back to the Java coding series. Today we will write a simple but very important logic program checking whether a number is even or odd. So let's see the problem statement here. Take a number from the user, check whether it is even or odd, and print the result. Okay, before start to code, let's think how to check whether a number is even or odd. So let's try with some numbers like even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So all these numbers, if we divide by 2, there won't be any remainder. It gives the remainder as 0. Whereas the numbers which are odd, for example 3, 5, 1, 7 and 9, so 11, etc. So here if you see, if you divide by 2, for example 3 by 2 here will be 1, okay, like 1, and the remainder will be 1 here. So here if you see, all these numbers are even numbers are divisible by 2 and odd numbers are not divisible by 2. So how do we check this divisibility? If you remember, there is an operator called modulus operator. For example, if we give a number like 4 modulus 2 will give you the remainder which is 0 here, whereas 5 modulus 2 will be 1. 1 will be the remainder. There is 13, and if we divide by 2 and 2 6 are 12, and remainder will be 1 here, right? So this remainder is nothing but the result of the modulus. Okay, so if the modulus results to 0, then this is even, and if the modulus results to 1, this is odd number. So this is how we can check if the given number is even or odd by dividing it by 2 and finding the remainder of it. So whenever there is a number given, if we find the modulus operator, if it is 0, then we should consider as even, and if it is 1, then it is a odd number. Now let's move to the coding part and convert the same to a working code. So let's see the important steps included here. First thing, as you all know, we need to create a class and a main method. And the second step will be take a number from the user. As I have already explained in the previous coding video, to get the input from the user using scanner class. So I'll use the same here. So through the coding series, I'll try to use the scanner class to get the input from the user. So if you are not aware of it, please go through the video which I'll give you in the description below. So the first step to get the scanner class is to import the class java.util.scanner. Okay. Now I'll create a scanner object here. New scanner system.in. Okay. Let's take input from the user by giving a print statement system.out.println. Enter a number. Okay. Now let's read this number using the scanner class sc.nextInt as its integer. Now the number will have the number which is entered by the user. Now let's write the main condition now. So logic goes here. If the number mod 2 is equal to 0, then print it's even. Okay, even number. So if you see here, if number mod is 2 is equal to 0, it's even. If not, it's 1, right? The same is written as code here. So else, if this is false, then print it's an odd number. right? Now pause the video here and write the same code and try to run yourself and see what you get as output. Okay, now let's run this program. Okay, it's waiting for a number. I'll just give 10 and press enter. It says even number, right? Now again I'll run the program. I'll give some 7, which is odd number. Yeah, so this is how we check even or odd number. Now let's say if I give some negative number, let's check now. I'll give say -4, and it says even number. So this is because negative numbers can also be even. So if I give -4 or -3, -5, it will still work as expected. So you don't have to worry about the negative numbers. Now coming to the edge case scenarios, it's very important whenever you code, we have to always think about the edge case. In this case, what will be the edge case scenarios? 0. For example, if we give 0 here, whether it will be even or odd, it's even number. 0 divided by any number, which will always give you 0, and it's considered as even number. And what about the decimal number here? So if we try to give a decimal number like 5.5, it throws an error saying it expects a hint, and while checking even or odd, we cannot use decimal numbers as the modulus works on integers. So program expects int here. Okay, so for a beginner level, this is a very common beginner interview question. Sometimes they also ask, without using modulus operator, how can you achieve this result? So the answer is using bitwise operator. So if you know about bitwise operator, you can just remember this. If not, you can ignore this section. So if you use num and 1, and here it's not the logical condition here. Remember, this is bitwise operator, and if this is equal to 0, then it's even number. If not, it's odd number. So this is how you can check even or odd using bitwise operator. Just keep in mind. Remember, in case if anyone asks in interview. Okay, and also if you think you don't have to use if else condition, or if they ask you to use ternary operator, the same thing you have to do something like this. So ternary operators is nothing but which uses a question mark here. So question mark is nothing but the condition here, and if this is true, so ternary operator will be condition, okay, and a question mark. If condition is true, execute this line, otherwise false, execute this line. So if this is true, then same as like this block, it will execute this even, otherwise it will execute this, and later we can print the result. So this is again for a interview purpose. If they ask you to use ternary operator, this is how you can use it. Okay, but most common way is to use modulus operator. Okay, now let's quickly recap what we learned today. Today we learned how to check a number is even or odd, and how to use the modulus operator to check that, if else logic, and edge cases also covered in this, and few interview tips. In the next coding episode, we will compare two numbers and find the largest one. And whenever I give a problem statement, always try to do it by yourself, and even if it's wrong, it's fine. Then only you can learn any coding language perfectly. That's how we can learn coding. Okay, thanks for watching.